The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
C.D. Lamb, touchdown.
Parsons has sacked it. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
And now your hosts, Isaiah Stanback, Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, and Kyle Youmans.
Go! Go! Dallas Cowboys!
It's a Victory Friday here on Talking Cowboys, as we say it with your chest here inside the SWBC studios. Talking Cowboys brought to you by Black Rifle Coffee Company, as the Cowboys get back on track, taking down the New York Giants in an ugly affair at MetLife Stadium, 20-15, the final score on Thursday Night Football. Welcome in, everybody. Glad you're with us. Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, Isaiah Stanback. I'm Kyle Youmans with Chris Beam in the back. We are rocking our victory shirts.
Three of us are.
The Talking Cowboys.
All right.
Oh, did you at least wear the pasties?
What?
No.
Oh, but you haven't.
He has
I wore it
everybody.
last week, all right?
He has
I wore
Talking
it last
Cowboys
week.
pasties. It's official. He said it.
I wore it last week, all right?
Yeah, you did wear it.
Torso commando
Just-
under that hoodie.
Just hoodie only?
Yeah,
Hoodie
just
only, yeah.
Yeah.
Just hoodie only.
You guys ever rock that? Just hoodie
The
only, no
That
shirt
is-
underneath?
That is savagery.
Yeah, of course.
No. Who does that?
Bill
That's-
Belichick.
Belichick does that?
The hoodie only.
I prefer morning Belichick. You know what I mean? Just shirtless at the ring doorbell. You know what I mean? Just like collecting himself. You know what I mean?
Oh,
That's what you
okay.
prefer?
That's the vibe.
Okay, that's
is
the
the
vibe. That's the vibe, apparently.
Checking the mail.
Good morning, Isaiah.
But we are rocking our victory shirts. Chris
sorry,
Beam's
leave
got
that
his
alone.
on in the back too. Rocking that victory look as the Cowboys get back on track, 20-15. And like I said, it was an ugly football game.
Bubba Sparks, baby.
What's that mean?
Ugly.
Up
He
in
had-
here.
He had a hit song called Ugly back in the
He sure did. In the 90s.
late 90s, early
Oh, yes.
2000s. Yeah. It's a Georgia boy, so.
Where's
yours? About that.
Close to your heart?
Yeah, he was signed to Timberlake.
Like, literally wasn't on there.
where's
Just
that?
realized that.
Dude, what we.
Jeez.
Come on,
It was
protection.
Commando.
Always protection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put your hoodie on.
Always protection.
Here we go.
Well, you guys were there. You were at MetLife Stadium.
We were.
Tell me about it.
A mere 6 hours ago.
Yeah. What time did you land this morning?
We landed around 4 a.m.
That's right.
And then I couldn't get my mind to shut off, so I started rewatching the game.
Hey, me too.
Yeah, so no
Science.
really. Yeah, science. So really no sleep because I wanted to see if the and the All 22 isn't out yet or wasn't out yet this morning, but I wanted to see if the broadcast kind of bore out some of the things that I saw in real time. But yeah, like you said, it was.
Call him Patrick No Sleepwalker.
Hey-o.
Oh, that's a bar.
You know what I mean?
We used to call him that whenever he was on the show the first time around.
Get my man.
Got
Film
it.
Yeah, film never lies. You
Never
understand?
lies.
Ugly when we talk a lot about two things can be true at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
It is hard to win in the NFL. It's very hard to win on the road in the NFL. It's even that much more difficult when it's a division rival who knows you so well. Now, thankfully, it was the Giants, and Dak Prescott just notched a 13th consecutive win against them, which is absolutely insane. But, who's the pappy? Dak's their pappy. Dak's their pappy. So Dak, the offense, CeeDee Lamb, coming into this game, CeeDee Lamb made promises that he would, be a better teammate. He would channel his frustrations in the right way, and he said it, quote, I will get better. It'll be fun. It was fun the first half, not the first drive, but they got going in the first half after that stalled first drive. Offense came alive, but then they, again, left meat on the bone in the second half. No touchdowns in the second half. It had drives, didn't capitalize on it. The defense did very well against the run. And I know people were saying, well, the Giants are not a good team. You're right, they're not. But we've also seen the Cowboys' run defense in recent seasons make an average running game look like an all-pro running game.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So the fact that they were able to absolutely shut this team down to, I think, a little more than 1 yard per carry, 26 rushing yards overall.
1.8 yards.
26 carries.
1 point to be specific, 1.08 is the yard
Oh,
per carry
1.08,
average.
yeah.
The sixth lowest allowed in franchise history, lowest since 2015 against the Eagles.
It's pretty wild.
This is wild. So, kudos to them for clamping down on that, not letting an average rushing attack look like all pros. Kudos to them for the most part, keeping Danny Dimes from extending plays with his legs. There were a couple times where they allowed it, but for the most part, they kept him where they needed him to be, but knocked him off of his spot. Improvements need to be had. This team is still broken in some ways that need to be fixed. Absolutely. So I say all of that to say, number one, enjoy the win because it's hard to get a win, and we talked about it. This was a must win, and now we get to at least take one step back from the panic button. Don't run all the way in the other direction, but we can take a step back. But number two, don't hang the banner just yet.
Yeah. I like that.
100%.
Yeah.
No, agreed. And I think when we were talking about demons, basically this entire week, you finally see the Cowboys step up in the run defense and are able to hold them to 1.08 yards per carry, which is great. This is Mozzie Smith's best game he's had as a Cowboy.
100%.
Shouts out
and I
to
don't
Mozzie.
even know if it's close.
No,
I really
it's not.
don't.
He actually popped off the field for the first time that I've been watching him since last year, obviously. So I mean that was great to see. Finally, Mozzie Smith.
Mozzie Smith has come back to Dallas.
Yeah, no, it was great to see, and I love that. But we didn't really get to see enough pressure on Daniel Jones. I was a little concernicus about Daniel Jones there in the pocket, just kind of biding his time, waiting for windows to come open, which thankfully didn't come open. When you don't have Kalen Carson, you don't have Deron Bland out there. He had enough time to make some plays, and he simply did not. That was a little frustrating.
And they didn't have Trayvon Diggs for a few plays
They
on
didn't
the
have
back
Trayvon
end as well.
Yes,
So
My guy needed some bananas, dude,
Yeah.
throughout the week.
he went
Got it done.
He
Yeah.
went full La'el Collins. Never go full La'el Collins with the dehydration and the cramping.
That's difficult, but it was great to see that the running game improved. There are still definitely holes here, and the penalties, man. The penalties
On both sides.
on both sides. It was just a nasty game as far as penalties go, and I think a big part of that is you give these guys 3.5 days to prepare for another
That's
NFL
one part
game.
of it. The other part of it is John Gotti, but we'll talk about that in a moment.
I'm worried. Who was it? It was Tyler Guyton. I'm worried about his comments after the game too when he was running out the tunnel.
well, Tyler Smith is the one who said he wasn't going to comment on it because he said Roger Goodell protects those guys like John Gotti.
But Tyler Guyton, when he was running into the tunnel, he said I forgot what the actual quote was, but he's like, NFL needs to take a look at these refs, man. Like something to that effect.
Well, that's
Here's
not
the
fine
thing.
worthy. That's not fine worthy.
It might be because he called out Roger Goodell specifically. I think you tweeted it, right?
Well,
In
no,
terms
Tyler
of-
Smith. He said, I'm not
okay.
going to criticize the
Guyton-
refs because.
That's not finable. Guyton saying Roger to Goodell, that could be finable.
Let me
The
pull up
one
the
thing
actual
that I
quote.
want to say about that whole scenario, there was a lot of holding, a lot across the board. I'm not going to even look at the refs in terms of a holding call. Tyler Guyton was getting beat by Kayvon Thibodeau play after play after play after play.
Where's my powder?
Tyler Guyton was not good yesterday. I don't care if the refs were bad or not. The Tyler Guyton's got a long way to go. Doesn't mean that's a bad thing in terms of
Friday,
his
Kyle.
future. His future of a left tackle position, I still believe in him to be your starting left tackle of the future. However,
Say it.
he was bad yesterday.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't blame the refs. Either
No,
anybody on the
there's-
offensive line, do not blame the refs.
I'm gonna let Isaiah get to his point, and then after Isaiah makes his, I'm gonna because there's one, and I feel what you're saying, and I don't disagree. Tyler Guyton struggled yesterday, but there's one particular flag that was thrown.
There's
that
always
I believe,
gonna be
no.
one,
I
though.
believe this has to be reviewed by the league as a possible rule amendment in the offseason, just league wide. But we'll talk about that in a second.
I think I know which one you're talking about. Is it the offsides?
It's the offsides.
Yeah, okay.
And really quick,
talk
his
about it.
comment was the NFL needs better refs, please. That's what he said.
Okay, that might be
That might be
finable.
finable.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, that might. Be
He said that in a camera. So
That might be fine.
that's rough.
Your thoughts?
I can see you. You know I can see you. Let me get the good out the way. Get the good out the way.
Go ahead, get
You got a W.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how you did it. Okay, it doesn't matter if you did it with white draws on. It doesn't matter if you did it with some tidy white. It don't matter. You got the W. Okay. That's number one. That's the positive. Mozzie Smith and the rest of the interior run defense did a good job of playing half a man. We talked about this on how to have gap discipline. Over the past few weeks, they have been playing head up on guys. And unfortunately, the Dallas Cowboys defensive front does not have the size to just be playing head up with offensive linemen. You have to play half a man, which means that you're now taking up that gap. What happens when you play on half a man is you take half of his strength away from him, and now he needs another half to help, which means that there's two guys now being responsible for you, which allows now for your what? Your second-level players to run around and hit. Well, there was a second-level player that ran around and hit yesterday by the name of Demo.
Wow.
So Demo was able to do what he does best, run and hit, because the guys up front were doing what they were asked to do within the scheme. So shout out to the coaching staff for getting these guys coached up. Shout out to the players for listening and taking the coaching and applying it on the field, regardless of what you felt like you wanted to do. We talked about it in the pregame show. There's things that I can do as a player to say, I know I can beat you, but if I beat you the way that I want to beat you, that's not necessarily doing what the scheme is asking me to do. So I'm leaving somebody else out to dry. Yeah. So you have to be selfless to make sure that your whole unit is successful. I think that the Dallas Cowboys defense did a better job of that yesterday, and you saw some players flash because of that. That's all the positive I have. Now, I'd say that I have one more positive. Dak Prescott.
Oh, yeah.
Dak Prescott was precise. He was John Wick precise last night. Okay?
Not John Wick.
Yeah, John
precise.
Wick. Yeah, Aaron. Just like Aaron Rodgers is normally precise,
absolutely.
he was precise yesterday. I mean, the balls that he was throwing, the accuracy that was coming with that, the location. Okay, we started talking about location, difference between a left shoulder and a right shoulder, difference between being high and being low, being behind, being in front. Dak was on point with his passes yesterday because there was not a lot of space.
No.
There was not a ton of space. Even the touchdown pass to CeeDee Lamb, that takes some cojones because it was a press coverage and CD was able just to get off of it. The ball's not supposed to go to CD on that play. Let me tell everybody, the ball is not supposed to go to CeeDee Lamb on that play. That was not the design. But he said, doggone it, that's my playmaker, and I'm going to put this ball in there even though there's not a ton of space. CD's able to catch it. The safety, I don't know what the heck he was doing. He got paid off. But the safety was not doing what he was supposed to be doing, and they paid because of it. So Dak was on point. Okay, so defensive line, they did a really good job. Okay, linebackers ran and hit. Dak was on point. Outside of that, I don't have a lot of positive. And I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer here. I'm just trying to be a realist.
No, you have to.
You won an NFC East game, and you needed that because you could not afford to go 0-2 in the NFC. You couldn't afford to go 0-1 in the NFC East. So you got that W, but how you did it. Okay, and people are going to say, oh, ugly win is a win. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. I'm not taking the win away.
Agreed.
But let's talk about it.
Right.
If you play like this versus your next two opponents, what is the result?
You're going to be 2-5.
You're smoked.
Okay, so third down efficiency, 3 for 10 on third down. No bueno. Okay, offensive plays, 51. Usually not good. Usually want to see around the 60 mark, okay? What does that mean? That means you had the ball for 51 snaps. Okay, let's look at the time of possession. Whoop, you lost that. 24-35 and some change, right? It's not equal math, but
Felt longer than that.
yeah, right? So you had the ball for 24 minutes. Not good. Now you can say, oh, well, we had splash plays. Okay, I can see that.
55-yarder.
Not so much. You scored 20 points.
Couldn't get off the field.
Yeah, you scored 20 points, okay? So no bueno there, okay? You were, 2 for 3 on field goals, I believe? Right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
2 for
Missed
3
a
on field goals.
51-yarder.
Okay? So you scored, how many? I'm up on my math right now.
Scored 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, you scored 2 touchdowns. That's it.
Yeah.
2 touchdowns.
Both,
Rico
and
Dowdle.
both in the first half.
Yeah,
nothing in the
you
second
scored on a screen that got the flag got picked up on a. You can go either way, okay, in terms of whether Ferguson was holding or not. When I went back and looked at it for a second, third, fourth, fifth time, they could have easily kept that flag on the field. Yeah, I'm not saying it was super blatant, but to pick up a flag, it takes a lot. So there was a holding there.
Yeah.
The flag got thrown. Usually it sticks with it, but it didn't. Got pulled up. Good for the Cowboys, okay? Works to their advantage. But that easily could have been called back. Okay, that touchdown could have easily been called back. So if you take that touchdown off the board, then you have the CD play where the safety just didn't do his job and CD made a hell of a play, hell of a throw, right?
I don't know what he was doing.
Yeah, so offensively, was not impressed. There wasn't a ton of separation at the receiver position. I was able to watch B. Cooks a little bit more. B. Cooks is running good routes, but if the ball is not thrown on him when he comes out of his break, he's not working back to the quarterback. It's the first time I've ever been able to say that about B. Cooks. He's running good routes, but out of his break, he's not creating separation. So the ball has to be on him as soon as he comes out his break because guys are closing that advantage that he did have as soon as he comes out of it, okay? Sacks, no problem there. Completion rate was good, obviously 81% for Dak. He did his thing there, okay? When you go to the – where are we at here? Where's my red zone? I can't even see my red zone stuff. Anyways, red zone, okay? You're 1 for 1 in the red zone. You got to the red zone once.
And that was the first drive or the second drive of the game where you scored with Rico Dowdle.
You got to the red zone once against the New York Giants.
Uno.
So I'm saying these things because these are real problems. And then we talked about the penalties. You tried to beat yourself. You tried your best to beat yourself. It just happens that you're playing a team that just not very good. Okay. Now we talked about they were playing well. Okay, for the New York Giants, but they're still not a good team because they were just playing better than what you expected. So, not getting to the red zone, 30% conversion on third down, 11 penalties, not creating separation, not really getting any sacks. These are all things that are not going to add up. You know, interception at the end of the game when they were in desperation, so you didn't really have any turnovers. You have to figure it out. And I'm saying all these things because these are problems that have to be addressed for you to beat high caliber teams, which you're about to face. You're about to go on a whole run of high caliber teams, 3 of them, matter of fact, in a row. Okay, you get 2 of them in a row, then you get a bye, and then you get to go at it again
against San Francisco.
All right, but you're going Pittsburgh, you're going Detroit, Pittsburgh, and San Francisco 49ers. So you have to get these things fixed. Okay, so there is some positive, but I have to highlight the bad. I'm an analyst. That's my job. Sit up here and tell you guys the truth, whether you like the taste of the vitamins or not. Okay, this is a chewable vitamin. Okay, chase it with some water, but you still got to get these vitamins in.
But it's all facts though, and I think that a lot of level-headed Cowboys fans, yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely, chewables. That goated. But yeah, I mean, it's everything that Isaiah and Josh are saying, and yourself, Kyle. It's level-headed Cowboys fans. We knew going in, and we said this before we went into this game. The Cowboys absolutely had to have this win, but should they grab the win, which thankfully they did, coming out of the back end of that, nobody's hanging a banner, nobody's scheduling the parade, because you were supposed to beat this team, but you should have also blown this team out. You could have dog-walked this team, right? But the fact that you did, shouts out to Big Nate out there, but the fact that you
right
didn't,
over Josh's left shoulder.
But the fact that you didn't kind of goes to our continued level of concern. So yes, we are enjoying Victory Friday. It is hard to get wins in this league, so enjoy that, and just know that the Cowboys are now 2-2. They're stable again. But if they don't, it's also true if they don't make these improvements like we're talking about, then what happens in Pittsburgh against what is currently an undefeated team could still be an undefeated team when you get to Pittsburgh.
Probably will be.
Right. What happens with San Francisco? What happens with Detroit? When Detroit, when you play the Lions, because they're going to go all the way to the wall with it.
The State Fair opens today.
Yeah.
Right? Do you guys ride State Fair rides? I don't.
Yeah, probably not anymore.
I don't.
It depends.
I don't ride State Fair rides, or little carnivals that move around.
I go for the
because it's shaky.
Because it can be a little shaky. They are our State Fair ride right now, right? You can get on it. It may be good.
Wonder if the State
I'm not
Fair's
really
a
sure how
partner.
safe it is. I don't know. I don't
He's
think they
like,
are.
careful.
I don't think they are.
It's a pirate ship of sorts.
Yeah,
The
you
one
know what
we
I'm
go
saying? Yeah, I want to go. I don't want to go to the traveling show. Because I'm just not sure of the maintenance there. That's what the Cowboys are right now. You just don't know, right? You know what they're capable of, but what they put on film versus the competitors that are real isn't good.
I tell you what, one thing that really jumped out at me, and this goes to the completely lopsided time of possession that was owned for most of the game by the Giants, is you have to stop missing tackles. You've got to stop missing tackles. 3rd and 4. Donald gets into the backfield. Yeah. You make that tackle on first contact.
14 inches. Wasn't it 14 inches?
No. I think that one was 3rd and 4.
Second one. There were multiple.
There was more than yeah. If you get in
the third down conversions in
right,
this game,
and this is what I mean when I say people were just banging on the scheme in these 2 losses. And I'm like, it's execution, folks. It's execution. Look no further than a couple of those conversions where the scheme and the play call was right there for you.
Right place, right time.
Put you right in the backfield up against that guy. It's you versus that guy. Prove you're better than that guy, and you don't make the tackle, and it extends the drive.
How far does that go to your confidence, though? Because a lot of the confidence that's been shaken over the last 2 weeks in Mike Zimmer's system and whatever it may be, the guys in the locker room have talked about how it hasn't been shaken, that they are staying true to the system. They're staying true to what he's calling. When you go back and you look at the film and you say, there you go, there's the system, how much does that provide the opposite, where it does actually grow that confidence?
It should grow that confidence, because a game like this shows you, and when they go back and look at the film, which they started doing some of them on the plane last night.
Yeah.
Right. As you're looking at the film and you're a Cowboys player, you should feel good about what this scheme is going forward, because you can see that it's putting you in the position to win, you in the position to win, you in the position to win. And like Isaiah said, and very eloquently, and I love that he said it this way, it's one thing to say I can line up against you and beat you, but if I beat you in a way that is not conducive to Isaiah doing well or my linebackers playing well, then what did I just do but make the situation worse? The scheme looked very good last night. Was it perfect? No. There was too much bend for my liking, but there was no break. Yeah. Okay? But when you talk about a third down conversion where I see Dono fly into the backfield, that's all Zimmer. That scheme, he put you there. Now what are you going to do? You don't make the tackle, and it's converted. That's execution. So scheme is improving. That's build your confidence there. And I will say that the execution started to get better because Donovan, on that same drive, he made a big tackle and reestablished that, hey, okay, I think he changed helmets before he went and made that tackle. So improvements need to be made. Missed tackles are going to be one of them, especially when you're dealing with – I don't know that Christian McCaffrey will be on the field when they play the 49ers.
Look like
but it doesn't look like it, but it also may not matter in a Kyle Shanahan system against the Cowboys defense. Point being – those offenses like to play in space and get you in those one-on-one situations. There was another one. I don't have my chart in front of me. I do, but I don't feel like looking it up right now. Give me until the next segment. But if you guys know what I'm talking about, on one particular conversion, Daniel Jones drops back, and it might have been Wan'Dale Robinson, might have been Malik Neighbors, I'm not sure. He shakes one guy, and it's a conversion. Later in the game, the Giants are thinking, well, it worked once, let's do it again. The second time was to Robinson. It didn't work, because the guy made the tackle. I believe it was Amani who made that tackle that time, right? You have to send the message that we can tackle in space, and until you do that consistently, teams are going to say, let's put them in space. Let's spread them out and make them beat us one-on-one, because I don't know that they can do it. Cowboys showed signs that they can. That's a positive. Did they do it consistently enough for me to say that it's fixed? Absolutely not. Yeah. Fix it, or the Detroit Lions, the San Francisco 49ers, the Philadelphia Eagles, and Saquon Barkley, they're going to make you pay for it.
Going to.
And thankfully, you have a cleanup guy like DeMarvion Overshown, who's quick enough to get to that space and make the tackle when he needs to. There were a few missed tackles, but overall, I think your defense, they did their job. They didn't let up a single touchdown, which I think is excellent. You know, they held them to field goals on every single possession that they scored on.
Especially considering Neighbors was starting to cook.
Neighbors was cooking the whole game,
and he couldn't find the end zone.
That's the difference to me, is that the offensive scheme of ours versus theirs, and that they were scheming him open the entire game.
It was frustrating.
And we couldn't get a single wide receiver open. We talk about how good Dak's throws were yesterday. How much space did those receivers really have?
That was the stat coming into the game too.
Yeah. The throw to CD, right? He threw that to CD. He saw press, man, single, safety was off. And like Isaiah said, that's not the first read, but he noticed it pre-snap. He was like, I'm going to my franchise wide receiver. Threw that ball before CD came out of his shake to the inside corner. That's nasty work. And credit to CD for getting it and taking that to the crib. But what window? That window was...
No window.
Had to be perfect. Completely
painted shut.
Yeah.
So Cowboys receivers got to get more separation.
And we'll talk more about that as the week goes on. We got a long way going into that Pittsburgh game. This is a chance for them on a mini bye to try and figure things out.
Yeah.
This is an opportunity here.
I shouldn't have did what I just did.
Yeah, don't look at it. Don't look at it. We'll talk about it when we come back. More Talking Cowboys. We've got smelly stickers to hand out.
Hey.
We got a fan gift to talk about
Hey.
coming up here in just a moment. I want to talk through that. And then, of course, by the end of the day, we have our Pick'em segment. If you want to be a part of the fans' representatives for the Pick'em segment, give us a call, 888-855-2297. More Talking Cowboys right after this.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
If you're looking for fresh American roasted coffee that gives back, you need to head to your local grocery store and pick up a bag of Black Rifle coffee. That's right, America's coffee is now available in the coffee aisle of a grocery store near you. Black Rifle Coffee Company is veteran-founded with a mission to give back to those brave men and women who have served our nation. Every bag, box, or can you purchase helps support that mission. Head to your local grocery store and roast yourself some Black Rifle coffee today.
They say champions are remembered, but legends are never forgotten. United Ag and Turf offers a winning lineup of John Deere equipment built to tackle any challenge on and off the field. Legendary John Deere tractors, combines, residential mowers, commercial mowers, compact construction equipment, Gator utility vehicles, and a full line of golf and sports turf equipment. United Ag and Turf, the official Ag and Turf equipment supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com to find a location near you.
Life doesn't stop when the economy is uncertain. The market might not care you have a wedding to plan or a kid to put through school. And inflation doesn't know you've got a family to feed. But Bank of America does, and is here to help. With digital tools to help you save and local experts nearby, you can keep life moving forward the way you need it to. Bank of America. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com. Bank of America N.A., member FDIC, equal credit opportunity lender.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Back here on Talking Cowboys, this portion of the show is brought to you by Quaker Oats, the official oatmeal sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys, trusted since 1877. Scan that Quaker code, buy your oats from the internet. Always phenomenal. Just a sick way. Sick way to do so. All right, guys. It was fun. It was kind of funny.
Shouldn't have did it.
Last Friday, there was a certain podcast on the Cowboys Network that I'm not going to name, nor am I going to spend a whole lot of time on it. But they said that they kind of got mad at Isaiah for talking about these T-shirts. That in
Are you talking about these?
Some shape, fashion, or form based on the hairline down here.
Yeah, that's okay.
But there was a comment in there. He's like,
Hairline's right there.
He's like, we get our own T-shirts. The people send us stuff. People blah 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 bragging about it. Well, they didn't know that people send us stuff too. So I'm going to read this from one of our good fans. To the Talkin' Cowboys crew.
There we go.
I've been a diehard Cowboys fan since I was a kid. You guys have become a great part of being a fan and an awesome experience to listen to. I've been listening to you guys, and it makes my days better. Talking about the Dallas Cowboys has never been a better experience. You mentioned one day about that talent. You said about making T-shirts as a small family business. Me and my wife have figured you guys would love this. It's not a T-shirt, but it is one of a kind, and it is handmade. Always a pleasure talking to you guys, and always go Cowboys. Sincerely, our good friend Mike in New York.
How about this freaking
Look at that.
Oh, look at that.
This is kind of cool.
I
love how like the Quaker Oats logo is just as big as the Cowboys logo.
They matter just as much.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Also, Black Rifle Coffee.
Yeah,
Black Rifle did that by hand.
Yeah, this is like a handmade. I mean, think about how much time that took.
Wow.
That's not
Absolutely.
That one might be a
Loader.
like a template. This
Yeah,
one is not.
that is
That
not.
is by far handmade.
Hey,
So
shout out.
Very
man,
cool.
Mike. Thank you very much.
Love you,
That's
Mike.
awesome.
We
Very
have
cool.
the best viewers and listeners, and that's bottom line.
A lot of them overlap. We
because
get it. But
Stone Cold said so.
yes, very cool.
Yeah,
Very cool.
look
Thank
at
you.
that.
Mike. You guys are the best. Always great.
That's going on
hearing
my
from
mantle.
it.
Shouts
Go
out,
for it.
Mike.
Yeah.
Shouts
yeah.
out
On our mantle.
On our mantle.
We all
out
live
to
together.
Mike.
We all live. Yeah. That's how it goes.
Tim this in here.
It's
Talking
really
Cowboys,
it's
baby.
really going to
Just hammer it into the wall. No big deal.
Yeah, Beamer will be totally cool with that.
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Totally cool.
It's Beamer's favorite show anyway.
You talking about hammering that into the wall? I can hear Derek's eyes getting bigger.
Yeah. All right.
Because I know he's listening. You're listening, Eagleton. I know.
Let's talk about
Taking
this.
pointers from the A show.
You talked about it a second ago. Whenever it came to, you shouldn't have looked it
I
up.
shouldn't have looked it up.
It's the upcoming schedule.
Oh, okay.
I want to point out one specific group. We talked a lot about the defense there. I want to go back to the offensive side. Tyler Guyton. Tyler Guyton, your starting left tackle, has had some ups and quite a few downs.
Do we need to talk about the next 5, 6? Oh, they're all Jesus.
Steelers, 49ers.
Fix it right now.
Oh, by the way, the Steelers, Lions, 49ers.
Do you have to say who the pass rushers are?
Yeah. TJ Watt, Aiden Hutchinson, Nick Bosa. Followed by the Falcons. They don't have like one specific
They
guy.
do have Judon.
Judon.
Let's not put him in the same
Red sleeves.
He's not the same.
Red sleeves.
He is not the same.
He's caused Dallas
Watch
some
the
issues.
film. Watch the film. He's not the same.
He's caused Dallas
in
some
like 2021. Like let's give it.
Well, I
We're
think
in the year
you
of
can
our
say the
Lord
same thing about
2024. He's not the same guy.
I think you're both right. Split the difference. Judon plus Grady Jarrett, a healthy Grady Jarrett can cause some problems.
Grady Jarrett's like 50.
I said plus. Put them together, and they like
That's what
fusion dance.
That's what they say about our backfield.
I'm worried
Fusion
about.
dance, and if you know,
I'm
you know.
worried about the next
Dragon
3
Balls.
games.
Okay.
The
In
Wonder
terms
Twins.
of the edge rushers, and a lot of times Aiden Hutchinson's going to go up against Terrence Steele.
You're not worried about Philadelphia and the Texans?
I'm talking about the next 3 games,
Okay,
guys.
so Will Anderson.
Next 3 games, we'll get there. That's a long way away.
Is it?
Yes, it's a long way away.
We're ready 4 games into the season.
How do you? And those are 5 games
went
away.
quick.
How do you
Yeah,
get
that's a
better
good
if
point.
you're Tyler Guyton at this point?
You watch film.
Is that it?
You watch film, sit on your inside leg, take coaching. Right now, he's given up all his sacks and all his problems. All his holding calls are coming. Most of his holding calls are coming from him oversetting. That means that he's playing to the defensive end, getting up the field, right? And he's leaving that inside, that inside gap between the tackle and the guard. He's leaving that open. Guys are spinning back. They're putting their foot in the ground. Tim Hardaway crossover, and then he's putting them in a chokehold and getting holding calls or getting sacks or freaking coming off the top rope and splash frogging on him. So I mean, he's having troubles with that particular thing. Now that's correctable. When you're struggling with a issue, you can address that issue. Now, if there was a whole handful of things that he was struggling with, that'd be very concerning. I'm not as concerned. I'm not that concerned with him because those are very addressable things. That's just technique, and that's just him trusting that, hey, these guys have to come through me to get to my quarterback. I don't have to go out to these guys. It's one of the hardest things in the world. And the only reason why I have an understanding of that is because it's very similar to playing the wing position on punt. It's like if you go out to the outside, man, you leave yourself on an island. Literally leave yourself on an island because now you left gap in there because you feel as if I have to go meet this guy. Sit back. Trust your technique. Sit on your inside leg and just know that if he wants to get to this quarterback, he can't do it unless he goes literally through me. And that he's not going to do that because I'm too strong for that.
Yeah, excellent point. And I've got my notes up here in front of me now. It was the 4th drive for the Cowboys, and it was 1st and 10. Dak gets sacked. Pressure was allowed by Tyler Guyton, and I wrote a note. Too far outside, allowed the inside lane, and that's exactly what happened. So that's exactly what Isaiah is talking about. Don't overset. Don't let the guy walk you out there because that's a setup. He's walking you out there for a reason, so he can get the inside move once he gets that leverage, and now your pocket's destroyed. So it's fixable. Fairly easily fixable, so that's the good news. You saw him have a solid game against a guy like Myles Garrett, so the film is there showing that he can avoid the overset. Now it's just repetition and consistency for him. That's all it is.
It's crazy to me that his best game so far this season was against Myles Garrett. That's surprising.
Yeah.
But
he said he graded himself poorly in that debut too. He said, "How would you grade it?" He said, "Poor."
Yeah, and that's fair. But I also think it's fair that he's a rookie, and these growing pains are going to happen until he gets it right. My concern now is that it is now the narrative that this guy is a guy that holds. This guy is a guy that gets that flag. You know what I mean? Much like I think back to like Flozo Adams and his like false starts. You know what I mean? How that was just a constant narrative. It's like, here he goes again. Here he goes again. Here he goes.
Or
So
like Doug Free.
There you go.
That's a good
and
one. Doug Free with the holding.
you're expecting this to happen. So And now comments made about the referees puts an even bigger microscope on them, right? that to me is going to be difficult to overcome. However, like you said, if it's an easy fix, he watches film and he overcomes it, right?
Yeah.
Let's hope for that.
Just go out there and shake some zebras' hooves, and you'll be all right as far as them stopping keying in on you. Because you make a great point. Harkening back to the Doug Free days when he had those issues with a rash of holding penalties, the refs start to stare at you.
Exactly.
Because now they're expecting it. They're like, oh, he's a holder. And now even the ticky-tack ones that they normally would turn a blind eye to, they're like, nope, holding, flag. But I will say there's this one, you get the hell out of here, man. And I call upon the league to review this with the competition committee. And Stephen Jones is on the competition committee. This particular play, I think, would benefit the entire league if they found a solution to this. If a guy is offsides, Thibodeau was offsides. If he's called offsides and you're allowing the free play, I don't think that the defensive player who created the offside should be able to draw an infraction if that infraction is for the safety of the quarterback. If this league is to protect quarterbacks and you don't want guys running unabated to the quarterback, you don't want free passes and free hits and free shots on the quarterback. And, of course, there are some that are saying, well, Tibbs slipped and it wasn't really a hold. I don't disagree. I'm saying even if it were a hold, why should it have been a hold? Because you could have viewed it as him protecting Dak Prescott from being hit by a guy who was offsides in the first place.
Yeah.
So either don't allow it to be a free play and say, okay, well, this is too dangerous for the quarterback to allow it to be a free play, just call it dead. Or just simply say, if you are on the defensive line or if you are a blitzer or whatever, if your infraction, offsides or whatever, would create a dangerous situation for the quarterback, then it's fair game. A holding call can't get placed against the person in front of you. So that's where I mean, and this for me, that's bigger than the Cowboys. Now I'm talking the NFL and competition in all fairness and safety. So if you want to say you're the league for safety and you want to protect quarterbacks, here's a perfect chance to add to that.
Isaiah, you can attest to it. I said that yesterday in the booth or in the studio when we were watching the game. I was like, if there's a flag like that, I don't think it should be thrown. If the player is a foot, or not even a foot, he was like 5 feet offsides. I mean, he had a 5 foot head start going to the quarterback.
The same way you have a free play offensively, you should be able to have a free DDT.
There you go.
Yeah.
Listen,
see, in that clothesline.
So he's right. I don't care if Tyler Guyton picked Thibodeau up.
That's where the gray
put him
area
upside down
comes
and
to
shook
me.
the change out his pockets. It shouldn't be a penalty. Your fault.
That's where
you were offside.
Bad. That's where the gray area comes in, because I said that too. I was like, as much as I would love for that to be the rule, I see why it's not the rule, because it would just lead to that. Tyler Guyton could take him and throw him out the club. I mean, I don't even know what it is. Within reason, but that's gray area.
It's called discipline.
You can't say within reason on like a actual rules document.
You could if you say if it goes into the area of unsportsmanlike conduct.
Okay.
Then you can throw a flag for unsportsmanlike conduct.
So don't be a dummy.
Don't be
off the top rope.
That's what I'm saying. So if you're obviously
like they're pulling face masks, they're grabbing each other's hair.
If you're doing the basics of protecting your quarterback from this guy who is offsides, there should not be a flag. Okay. Because that guy,
cool with that.
That guy just basically made himself fair game. Okay, but within the realm of professionalism. So now, if you take the helmet and you're yanking the guy around, well, okay, you cross the line. So unsportsmanlike conduct.
I
so
disagree.
Holding should not be a thing. But okay, there's a realm, an event horizon where you shouldn't go over it and DDT the guy. Okay, cool, I get that. But
I disagree. If you're offsides unabated to the quarterback, it's world star. Like we're world star. Like everyone's gonna pull their phones out.
Because then guys get injured and that undermines my point. My point is it's about player safety.
No fun league over here.
I'm just saying it's about player safety. Come on, we cover wrestling. It's about player safety. So you can't say we're going to make this rule change because we want to protect the quarterback, but then allow the guy who is offsides to get his helmet turned all the way around, Exorcist style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I get it. I get the gripe. I get the thought process. It is legitimate, but at the same time, Tyler Guyton, you got to stop holding my dude. All right. Time now for some smelly stickers. It was an ugly win for the Cowboys, but that doesn't mean there weren't guys that deserve some smelly stickers.
Yes.
Our helmet stickers and our players of the game. Who wants to start us off this week? Who wants to get it started? Anybody? Isaiah, you want to start it?
I got you.
Go for it.
All right,
after it.
here we go. Beamer,
Here we
bring it in
go.
for the real thing. You see this right here? You probably can't zoom in anymore. Anyways, it's a pineapple, okay? Damn. A pineapple with a backpack.
Yes, sir.
And you know who's getting this pineapple with a backpack? Somebody who's been carrying this offense like a JanSport the last few weeks. And
Rico Dowdle?
And converting on big-time plays. His name is Hunter Lipke.
Lil Mike
L Boogie.
L Boogie.
Lil Mike All-Star.
I'm putting that right here underneath the popsicle. Right there in the front, okay? He's ahead of his class right now.
I like it. Congrats. Congrats, Hunter Lipke. His second smelly sticker of the season.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 2 for 2.
2 for 2. Congrats to him. All right. Really quickly, I'm picking the bananas.
Yeah.
Because someone ate his bananas last week. He didn't cramp up. He was ready to go. He was ready to go.
Okay.
Or his potassium tablets. I don't know. I'm giving this to DeMarvion Overshown.
I like
because goodness gracious, was that man ready to play football yesterday, Thursday. Arguably the best performance on the field last week. What happened?
Nothing.
All right. Keeping it going.
Keep rolling.
Shouts
Good
to
job,
DeMarvion.
Demo.
Okay.
That's what didn't happen.
So mine is actually going to go to a group, right? Mm-hmm. The defensive front.
Yeah.
Well, what's the sticker?
I should the sticker.
Don't rip it off. You can just
Yeah,
show
no,
it on
it's
the
good, it's
helmet.
good, it's good.
Oh, okay.
I'm going with the pair.
Okay.
All right. So the pair.
A pair, okay,
A pair for the defensive line and the defensive front seven, because against the run defense this week, they grew a pair. And they showed that they can buck up and they can stop the run. And again, this wasn't Alvin Kamara, this wasn't Derrick Henry, this wasn't Christian McCaffrey. But if you followed this team, then you know that there have been situations where this run defense makes an average running back look like he's, Gale or Sayers or something like that. So
A banana and a pear. We put it on the table, guys.
Shouts out to the defensive front, and there's your pair.
There you go. I like it. All right. I've got a donut right here. It's a donut that, of course,
Did you add the
donut.
Texas accent?
yeah, a little bit.
It
It's got a little full
got a
Texan.
donut right here.
It's a donut right
It can
here.
also be
Right here.
if this donut was a number, what would it be?
0.
It would be 0. It's also just happens to be the
Very good.
Good job, guys. That would also be the amount of pressures given up by Cooper Beebe this week.
Nice.
It wasn't easy. He went up against Dexter Lawrence in the interior of that defensive line for the New York Giants. Second time in his 4 games that Cooper Beebe has had a 0 pressure outing. It wasn't perfect from the offensive side,
take it.
but if your rookie is having 0 pressures and is not giving up that interior pressure for Dak Prescott, it allows him to go 22 of 27 passing and have those 2
Let's
passing
freaking
touchdowns.
go, BB.
Good job, Cooper Beebe.
BB
The
gun.
money.
Well
Give me
done,
that
sir.
BB.
All right,
BB
let's
gun.
take our second break. When we come back, it's time for our Pick'em segment. Give us a call, 888-855-2297 if you want to be a part of our NFL Pick'ems here in Week 4. More Talking Cowboys right after this.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
Welcome back into Dear Doctor, the show where I answer life's questions with an ice-cold can of Dr. Pepper. Sheila, let's hear from our next caller, would you?
Dear Doctor, my friend supported me during a tough time. But what's the right gift that says, thanks for being a shoulder to cry on?
Okay, this one's easy. I say give her a delicious Dr. Pepper. Nothing says, thanks, girl, better than a one-of-a-kind soda. Yes, any Dr. Pepper flavor will do. Now, just a reminder that I don't need to be a real doctor to know that Dr. Pepper is the one you deserve.
If you're looking for fresh American roasted coffee that gives back, you need to head to your local grocery store and pick up a bag of Black Rifle coffee. That's right, America's coffee is now available in the coffee aisle of a grocery store near you. Black Rifle Coffee Company is veteran-founded with a mission to give back to those brave men and women who have served our nation. Every bag, box, or can you purchase helps support that mission. Head to your local grocery store and roast yourself some Black Rifle coffee today.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Back here on Talking Cowboys, this segment is brought to you by Invisalign, the official smile of the Dallas Cowboys. All smiles here on this Victory Friday. 888-855-2297. Still looking for a caller. If not, Chris Beam's going to represent in the back. We're just running out of time, so we've got to hurry up on this one. 888-855-2297 if you want to be a part of our Pick'em segment. But I do need Chris Beam. Beam, can you update the standings for us real quick?
Sure. Right now we've got... except for the Cowboys game, obviously.
Dun, dun, dun.
We've got first place would be Patrik Walker, 15-4.
Hey.
Second place would be 15-4. Kyle is 14-5. Stanback is 14-6. The
6 greater than 4.
Josh is 12-8.
Okay.
The Josh.
And the fans are 12-10.
Okay. There you go.
I even sacrificed my Cowboys one.
Yeah,
you're
gonna take one.
Giants, so I'm gonna take one.
I mean, if you take
I'm glad. I love it.
If you take out those bonus games, I mean,
You love taking
I'm
them?
winning.
No, you have 6 losses now.
Depending on the situation.
Yeah. If you want to tell by the bonus games, you have 6 losses, which means you would not be lead.
Liar face.
You're actually closer because of the bonus.
Hey man, shouts out to the Cowboys
Liar face.
Liar face.
for getting pissed
All
off.
right, Sky.
I hope my prediction worked. I hope it really did. Add that little bit of extra spice
Little
to
juice.
piss them off.
Little juice
I was
to it.
willing to take one for the team for that one.
I did hear the phone ringing in the back, so I'm going to give.
I got
Beamer
a caller.
second. Oh,
Yes.
you do have a caller.
Yes,
Okay,
it's
sweet.
Champ in the 308, which is Nebraska.
Ah, what's up, Champ in the 308? How's it going?
It's going well, guys. How are you?
We are doing
well.
great. All right. So
Awesome.
appreciate you calling in on such short notice, doing a great job representing the fans this week. So if you haven't been listening to the
Absolutely.
show, the dogs, of course, we've got underdogs, 6 points or more underdogs going into the week. These count as 2 wins. It does not penalize you for a loss, though, if you get it wrong. Are you at an airport?
There's a plane flying right over me. I'm walking right now, and there's a plane flying over me.
All right, these are the possible dogs this week, and there's only 4 of them in the NFL. Good slate of games this week. The Broncos, who are on the road against the Jets at MetLife Stadium. The Jaguars, who are on the road against the Texans at, of course, our NRG Stadium down in Houston. The Patriots that are on the road against the 49ers on the West Coast, and then the Chiefs at the Chargers. The Chargers are the underdog, but they are at home at SoFi Stadium. They are 7-point underdogs. Isaiah, I'll let you start things off. Who's your dog this week? Broncos, Jags, Patriots, Chargers. Chargers. Okay. Josh.
All right, I'm going with the Broncos at the Jets.
Okay.
Broncos at the Jets.
That's a good one. What do you think, Pat?
I'm going with the. Justin Herbert's hurt.
Mm-hmm. A little banged up. He should be good to go. It looks like he's going to play.
Yeah, but he also tried that last week and he re-aggravated. I'm going Broncos at Jets.
Okay. I'm going to go Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence to get back on track against the Texans this week. They're upset about how that Bills game went. What do you think out in the 308?
I think that the Broncos, they might have found something last week.
Okay, so Broncos on the road at the Jets. Here's our actual pick'ems. Vikings at the Packers. Champ, what you got?
I really like what the Vikings are doing. That defense is playing really, really good, and Sam Darnold is doing Sam Darnold things.
There you go. So taking the Vikings. Jordan Love should be back for this game, Isaiah. Does that change anything for you?
It does change a lot, actually, if he's back. I do like the Vikings, though. I like the Vikings.
Okay, taking the Vikings.
I think the Sam Darnold fairy tale comes to an end. Give me Jordan Love and the Packers.
I'm the same way. Go Green Bay in this one. They're going to win this one over the Vikings. What do you think, Pat?
The Vikings have gotten me some wins this season. The Packers got me the win against the Titans, like I said they would. So I could go either way here, but Jordan Love back. You're at Lambeau. I'm going with the Packers.
All righty. Saints
Jones is
at
home.
Falcons, a little divisional matchup in the NFC South. Saints on the road in Atlanta to take on the Falcons. That's a good game. You want to start it off?
They're at Mercedes. I'm taking Atlanta.
All right.
I think the Saints bounce back after inexplicably giving the game away to the Eagles last week.
Falcons almost beat the Chiefs.
Nah, I'm going Saints here.
Almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
What was that, Kyle?
Horseshoes and hand grenades.
Oh,
horse.
Okay.
HORSE.
I'm going with Yin Yang Twins.
What is it?
Atlanta.
You gotta say a name.
No.
It's Atlanta.
No, I'm going with the Saints. They play that at the Mercedes.
That's an Atlanta song.
Yeah, it's an Atlanta song.
I understand, but they play it.
He's just trying to pick up a win. Either way, he could be like, "Oh, I meant
Saints. Okay.
Saints. Stand up and get crunk.
Try to keep it ambiguous.
I'm going to take Atlanta with Pat. I think the Falcons get it done. What do you think, Jam?
Good luck.
I think the Saints. I think they bounce back from that
That's why you're 12-6.
horrible loss to Philadelphia last week.
14.
Good pick. Speaking of Philadelphia, we've got the Eagles at the Buccaneers. What do you think on that one, Champ?
I'm going to go with the Buccaneers at home. I don't have much faith in Philadelphia. I don't know if it's because I don't like them. But
Same.
I think Baker Mayfield down there in Tampa Bay pulls it off.
You've sold me. That's all you had to say. You don't like Philadelphia. I don't either. Give me the Buccaneers to win it. Baker Mayfield goes off, not only for the Bucs, but for my fantasy teams as well. Go for it.
Birds.
Boo.
All right.
Boo.
The Buccaneers spanked the Eagles at home in the playoffs.
You're darn right they did.
They're going to do it again,
Yes,
dude.
sir.
Give me Baker Mayfield to throw 12 touchdowns against the horrible Eagles defense.
That would be awesome.
I know, right?
Or a 13, a Baker's dozen. I'm taking Baker in the Bay, baby.
Let's go.
Baker in the Bay. Isaiah on an island there may have picked up a game. We'll see. Okay. Bills at Ravens. The Buffalo Bills off of their blowout win over the Jags, and then you've got the Ravens at home returning after getting their first win of the year against some team here in Dallas. I don't want to talk about it. What do you think, Pat?
I don't think the Bills hang almost 50 on the Ravens, but I think they found something that can carry over to the next game. And I don't think that the Ravens are a bad team, but they beat up on a bad Cowboys team. So I'm taking the Bills over the Ravens.
Okay.
I'm taking the Ravens on this one. The running game is up to speed, obviously. We saw that firsthand. Great. They stack another win versus the Bills. I think they right the course now, obviously, after the Dallas win.
Yeah. Champ, what do you think?
I think the Bills go in there and win this game.
All right.
I think the Ravens are good, but I think the Bills can pull it off there.
I'm going to go with the Ravens at home. I feel like they're kind of riding the ship a little bit. Buffalo's riding high after a big win last week in prime time. I think it's going to be the Ravens to get it done at home.
You're crazy, man. Freaking Buffalo will run over a Raven all day, every day.
And that's how you're deciding.
Ravens can pick his eyes out, though.
All right. Yeah, that's true. Last one.
Science.
The fighting Isaiah Stanbacks up from Seattle in the Pacific Northwest, making the trip to Ford Field in Detroit to face the Dan Campbells. It's the Seahawks at the Lions. Who you got, Isaiah?
Well, it looks like the doggone Detroit Lions are going to have to play against the Dallas Cowboys angry that week because they're not going to win against the Seattle Seahawks.
That's still 2 weeks from now. You know that, right?
Yeah.
They're still going to be angry from this week 4 loss?
They're still going to be angry.
Okay. That's week 6, guys.
You pulled it off, man. That was nice.
Yeah.
He tried.
He really tried.
Thursday games threw me off.
Champ, what do you think?
Duh.
I hate to go against Isaiah, but I think that Detroit pulls that off at home.
There you go.
You're mad,
Champ,
man.
we appreciate the call as always. Thank you for listening. Thank you for
Thanks,
supporting Talking Cowboys. We'll talk to you again down the line.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Absolutely. You guys have a great weekend. Go Cowboys.
Yes, sir.
Go Champ.
Champ from the 308.
Did you guys pick?
No, we didn't pick
No,
it.
I just wanted to get him off the phone line. I forgot.
To get him off.
Well, no. Normally,
gotta hurry.
we
You did
pick
say
the
that
Cowboys.
weird.
We gotta
go.
hurry. Go.
Seahawks take the L at Ford Field. Lions in prime time. Let's go.
Detroit Lions are dealing with some injuries that I don't like. Seattle takes this win.
I don't think injuries matter. Give me the Lions. Give me the Detroit Lions,
Do it
baby.
obnoxious. Yeah, all the way
way over here. Why not?
You worked
All
on
right,
the third one.
That does it for us
They
here
not
on
like
Talking
us.
Cowboys. Hope you had some fun with us this week as we broke down not only one, but two Dallas Cowboys games. We'll be back after the mini-bye Monday morning, 9 a.m. to break things down for you again. For Chris Beam, Isaiah Stanback, Josh Rodriguez, Patrik Walker, I'm Kyle Youmans saying so long from Talking Cowboys. We will see you on Monday.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?